All right, today's video for Wes Schaefer's 12 Weeks to Peak Accountability Program. It's free. If you're not in there, why not? There's so many people to learn from, and Wes has been around a long time. He's not paying me to say this or anything like that. I just know it, right? And he's been on my show. I've been on his show over the years. Like, you can go back to 2018 and find a couple of episodes we did on finding the right CRM for you, which CRM is best. Okay. Anyway, I saw a Facebook post just now from somebody that mentioned that founders can change reality and they need to be a little bit crazy in order to do so. And I piped in because which is rare. I don't comment on many Facebook posts, but I like this one. It was a great reminder. Steve Blank, who is a guy who not a lot of people have heard of in the internet marketing world or online marketing world, and I don't know why. Probably because they haven't heard of me either, and we're the same kind of person. He he's a university professor and ended up getting into the defense field. And actually, I have a prop, unexpected prop. This thing, business model generation. Okay. He's a big fan of this book. This is a great book, by the way. This is just like as a book, as an understanding of how to put a book together. Business model generation is awesome. And he was using the business model canvas. Maybe you've heard of that. Anybody who has actually gotten into venture capital and fundraising and that will recognize the business model canvas. Okay. Now I get tired of talking sometimes because there's a lot of amateurs out there and newbie talk, and they're all like, oh, I have so many ideas. I'm so smart. And I just sit there and I create so many ideas. Like, nobody cares. That shows me you're a newbie. Okay. Having ideas is not a sign of anything other than some creativity. Good for you. We need that. But most of your ideas are bad. Most of your ideas are wrong. Same with me. Most of my ideas are so wrong. I've spent years, literally years, and tons of money pursuing ideas that were wrong, that I was convinced were a good idea. Okay. Not to be too negative or anything like that, but you got to look at yourself and go, holy crap, right? Doesn't mean never have an innovative idea. This is not what I'm saying, okay? And nor what Steve Blank says, okay? But just because you birthed an idea doesn't mean that you have anything. Put it through the business model canvas, okay? Do what Steve Blank says. Go out into the world. His thing is get out of the building. That's what he says. Get out of the building, your office, right? Get out of the building. Get that prototype in front of potential buyers and get the brutal feedback that you need, because they will tell you, I will not pay for this, or it is missing X, or we like it, but this extra thing or something like that is required. Okay. You will get the brutal feedback that you need very quickly. Is it fun? No. No. And this is why also he'll point out, Steve will point out, hiring a vice president of sales from a AAA company, huge corporate company for a startup is a terrible idea, because those guys are used to a predictable, known, repeatable sales process. Okay. Sales and marketing process, because it starts way back there. And as a startup, you don't have anything like that. You are nowhere near that, and you won't be near that for some time. Okay. And so their egos get beat up and they don't know how to do the discovery part properly, because they're fixated on looking for that one set of yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm going to, now you're a buyer, as opposed to, wait, do you even like this thing at all? Is this thing like a good idea for you? All right. So go out and find out more about Steve Blank. I posted a link to a very quick startup page that he had. It's a small website that takes you through all the steps of having a startup. I love it. It's very succinct. And also, he started out, this is where I ran into him years ago. He started out with The Secret History of Silicon Valley, which should actually be called Microwave Valley. And that's the story of post-World War II, all these new defense contracting companies starting up, little guys, never, like, this didn't exist before. And the venture capital that started growing up around them that also didn't exist before. This is in the 50s. And how they created like electronic warfare as a market segment that bled over into commercial stuff like our microwave ovens and that kind of thing. But I think it's, you know, for me anyway, it's very important to know how we got here. How did we get to where we're at? And understanding that, you know, it's like the good fences make good neighbors. Don't take a fence down until you know why it was put up. This is part of knowing why the fences and how the fences were put up, right? So, Secret History of Silicon Valley. If you're interested in it, I can link you to it. Just shoot me a message because nobody will. So I can say that. But there's like you know, he's got a couple of videos, long presentations, hour and a half, I think, on YouTube. But also there's a slide deck that's very long and very cool. I mean, this again goes back to World War II as the setting the scene and the radar units that the Germans were using to spot British and American bombers coming over the channel. I don't want to get too off track here, but once I start talking about Steve, this is what comes out, right? And so he has done a great job over COVID of connecting up with defense industry members here in the U.S. and creating courses with them, creating presentations with them, and teaching people. And I haven't even had the chance to look through them as much as I would like. I mean, and I'm the target market. So, you know, I don't expect anybody else to have heard about it. But point is, get out of the building, okay? Like, you know, as Steve will say, you have to have this reality distortion field as a founder to push reality back and go, no, I'm going to make changes here, right? I've got a vision. But then you have to get out of the building and go confirm that people actually want it. Is there demand for this thing? Will people part with hard-earned dollars, post-tax dollars, in return for your gimmick, right? Your thingy. All right. Is that what we want for real? Or, you know, are you going to remain delusional and probably run yourself into the ground? I've done it. So I've said this many times. Everything I accuse other people of, I'm just as guilty of myself. All right. I'm no different. So these are, you know, I try and bring things here that you should be alert for. All right. So if you're a founder, yeah, you can have ideas. Yeah, you have a reality distortion field. Good for you. But you got to go out there and do the spade work to confirm or deny whether there's actual demand for this thing or not. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.